Hello everyone, welcome to my channel and my tutorials. This is the second lesson of the series on Subject-Verb Agreement. Let us begin our lesson with a quick recap of what we have learned in our first lesson. The Subject-Verb Agreement rules say that a singular subject takes a singular verb, a plural subject takes a plural verb. In Subject-Verb Agreement, it is essential that we know the structure of the noun phrase very well. A compound noun phrase usually has three parts: the head or the nucleus, which is the central element of the noun phrase, the pre-modifiers branching to the left of the head, and the post-modifiers branching to the right of the head. Let's look at the elements that constitute the pre-modifiers of a compound noun phrase. Look at the example. All those first 5 few fat baby pandas. The first element is the predeterminer all. The second element is the determiner those. The third element is the ordinal first. The fourth element is the cardinal 5. The fifth element is the quantifier few. The sixth element is the adjective phrase fat. The seventh element is the classifier baby. And finally, we have the head or the nucleus, the central element of the noun phrase. I think you have observed the order or sequence in which the pre-modifiers are used in a noun phrase. This order of arranging the pre-modifiers is generally not violated in a compound noun phrase in English. Now, what are the elements that constitute the post-modifiers of a noun phrase? The elements such as the prepositional phrase, for example, of the part, relative clause, which begins with who, which, whom, noun in apposition, for example, my sister queen, where queen is the noun in apposition. That clause, a clause which begins with the conjunction that. The adverb phrase, for example, the road ahead, where ahead is the adverb and the head of the phrase. Adjective phrase, for example, something beautiful, where beautiful is the adjective and the head of the phrase. Now, let's analyze the post-modifiers in a compound noun phrase. Let's look at an example. The huge tree standing in the center of the park. Here, the huge tree, the center, and the park are noun phrases. Standing in the center of the park is the clause, and in the center and of the park are the prepositional phrases. Let's note that in a compound noun phrase, only the head or the nucleus is obligatory or the essential element of the phrase. In other words, we cannot form a noun phrase without its head or nucleus. The modifiers are optional or non-essential elements. They may or may not be a part of a noun phrase. In subject-verb agreement, it is important that we identify the head or the nucleus in a compound noun phrase. How do we identify the head or the nucleus in a compound noun phrase? To identify the head or the nucleus, we have to look at the three different types of noun phrases. In the head initial noun phrase, the head is followed by the post modifier. For example, people who believe in democracy. Here, people is the head or the nucleus of the phrase, and the clause who believe in democracy is the post modifier. In head final noun phrases, the head is preceded by pre-modifiers. For example, the educated people. Here, people is the head of the phrase preceded by the pre-modifiers the and educated. In head medial noun phrases, the head or nucleus is preceded by pre-modifiers and followed by post-modifiers. For example, the educated people who believe in democracy. Here, people is the head of the noun phrase. The educated are the pre-modifiers, and who believe in democracy is the post-modifier. Which element does the verb agree with in a compound subject-noun phrase? Let's look at an example. In the subject-noun phrase of the sentence, we have three noun phrases where there are three nouns: tree, center, and park. Of these three nouns, the head or the nucleus is tree, and so the verb plant agrees with the head tree, which is a singular noun. In this example, the subject noun phrase has several noun phrases and nouns in it. For example, school, east, Jorhat are all nouns within the compound subject noun phrase, besides a pronoun I, which is equivalent to a noun. The head or the nucleus of the noun phrase is the noun school, which agrees with the verb in part. Let's check what we have learned so far. A compound subject noun phrase may have pre-modifiers or post-modifiers or both. But the verb agrees only with the head or the nucleus of a compound noun phrase. The subject-verb agreement rules may look simple, but they are not so simple when we have a compound subject-noun phrase. Therefore, we derive a third rule for subject-verb agreement, and the third rule says the verb agrees only with the head or the nucleus of a compound noun phrase. Let's take a quick test to check our understanding. In the sentence, which verb form is correct? Arrive or arrives? To find out the answer, we must be able to identify the head or the nucleus of the compound subject noun phrase. Here, in the sentence, it is the noun birds, and so the correct verb form will be arrive, which agrees with the plural head of the noun phrase. In this sentence, which verb form, breeds or breed, is correct? The head of the compound noun phrase is the plural noun rivers. So the correct verb form will be breed, which agrees with the plural head of the noun phrase. And with this, we come to the end of today's lesson on subject-verb agreement. I hope you liked my lesson. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon for notification. Thank you very much. See you in my next lesson.